Hey guys, welcome back to I'm Just a Fan, and it's your host Ben. And today we're just going to be recapping the recent news with Brandon Aiyuk, and I'm just going to give my thoughts on it. So a lot of news has been occurring in the last 24 hours. I feel like it's been new news for this situation every few hours, it feels like. From what we were hearing, Cleveland was interested with a potential package for Amari Cooper and I think a pick. Pittsburgh is interested, and New England is interested. And then there came out a report of Aiyuk wasn't interested in New England if he was to be traded there. But then another report I saw come out said that they were willing to make him a top 5 highest paid receiver in the league. And I started seeing that and I was like, oh, maybe he will go to New England, because one thing he's really been stressing this whole time with the 49ers is that he wants money. Like, he's trying to get paid. And I thought that this would be one of, the main reasons why he might go to another team, just because he finally has that bag. But it seems that he also is prioritizing being in a at least winning organization. And it's safe to say New England has not been that in the last 4 years, really, since Brady left. They just haven't fully been there. And on paper, I've actually been calling for this move the last year. I always thought it would be a good fit for Aiyuk to be in New England, especially with them getting a new quarterback now in May. I feel like it would set him up with a real threat, because let's be honest, New England doesn't have really any threats on offense that scare me, at least. So I do really worry about May's development, just because who's going to be a safety blanket? Like Hunter Henry, it doesn't necessarily move me. It's a solid piece, but you need more than just... I guess you have Kendrick Bourne, but again, this is not moving the needle. But eventually, I don't remember the full timeline, but eventually another report came out saying that New England had pulled out of the deal and they weren't interested anymore because they knew that Aiyuk wasn't interested in going there long term. So they were out. So that leaves, from what we see, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Now, I thought Washington would be in this discussion, but unless I've just missed it, I haven't seen any reports from them related to getting Aiyuk in the last couple days even. So I'm kind of just ruling them out, but maybe they get into the sweepstakes. But I still don't even know if it makes sense for them team-wise. They already have McLaurin and Samuel. How much more are you going to invest in the receiver position? So now, going off the newest report that Cleveland has, or what is it? If Aiyuk was to accept the trade for Cleveland, then it would go through, because it's looking like Pittsburgh isn't going to have as much spending power compared to Cleveland for what they can offer to San Francisco. So it's looking like right now, if he is interested in being a Cleveland Brown, he's going to be a Brown. Now, I want to look at both sides of this trade. Let's say he goes to Pittsburgh or he goes to Cleveland. Going to Pittsburgh, you're going to, a great stable organization similar to San Francisco. They haven't been to the highs of San Francisco lately, but they have that pedigree. They show they aren't going to lose. You have some exciting players such as Pickens. We'll see if Harris can get back. You have Freiermuth if he can stay healthy. Fields if he does start. But then again, I'm not the biggest Justin Fields believer, and nor am I the biggest Russell Wilson believer at this point, because I think he is... I don't know if I'm about fully washed, but he's not an elite player anymore. I still think if you put Aiyuk in that offense, it would very much make Pittsburgh more of a threat, in my opinion. Now, I still got to see about how that works for the quarterback, but I don't really hate that move for Pittsburgh to get kind of aggressive, because, you lost, or not lost. I can't remember, did they trade Deontay Johnson or did he leave in free agency? I cannot remember. Regardless, you're kind of down a little bit of talent on offense, especially now because that receiver, Wilson, you drafted is injured as well. So I think it would be a good move for Pittsburgh, and there's obviously been some talks on Aiyuk's side, but nothing has been there. But now let's kind of go the other way and talk about his fit in Cleveland, especially because if the situation is true with all the news we're hearing, this is the way things are probably going to pan out. I think, again, it would be a good fit in Cleveland. From what I'm hearing, I don't know if it's true, but if they do if they do flip Amari Cooper, I think he's a clear upgrade to Cooper. I think Cooper's a solid player, but Aiyuk is younger, more of a freak, more explosive at this point of his career, and you'd have him long term as well. So then you'd have Aiyuk, Njoku, You'd have, excuse me, what's the one guy's name I'm blanking on right now? Oh, Jerry Jeudy. We'll see about the running back situation with Chubb coming back, but that's a lot of weapons again for Deshaun Watson to throw to. Now, at this point, my stock's not very high on Deshaun Watson, but I still think getting Aiyuk would be a good thing for Cleveland. Also, I've been hearing that they're looking to kind of transition into more of a passing game than a running game, especially now if Chubb's going to be hurt. Like, Jerome Ford was a solid back last year, but can we rely on Jerome Ford for the whole year? I don't know. So I think this would also kind of go into what Cleveland's trying to do. And honestly, I think either side would be good for Aiyuk. We got to see what the Niners would get back in, in return. But I don't really hate the move to San Francisco either if they end up doing it, just because realistically, how are you going to be able to pay all these guys? You still got to pay Trent Williams. You got Debo inked on a big contract. You haven't even signed Purdy yet if he does continue to become good. So these are the decisions you have to make as one of those premier organizations where you have a ton of talent. You're just going to have to bite the bullet sometimes, and sadly, you're going to have to move on from certain guys. So we'll see how this goes, but I just wanted to get this out there because this is a very, very interesting situation to monitor. And there's just been so many rumors. I don't know what's smoke and what's not, but we're going to keep an eye out on this, and we'll definitely make a video if anything does occur, whether it's a contract extension with the 49ers or if he does end up getting traded to Pittsburgh or Cleveland or even a surprise team. So we'll see. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you enjoy sports content, these discussions, subscribe to my channel. I'm just a fan, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you on the next one. Peace, guys.